Previously on Gutter Trash.
Boobalicious.
Yeah.
You know what's creepier than that guy? The Robert Burbles from Thundercats.
The what?
The Robert Burbles. The little robotic bear creatures on Thundercats.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
They spoke in this weird, like, almost like a, the voice box that a lot of tracheotomy patients have.
Right.
They spoke in those tones, but they were like creepy, featureless bear robots, and they spoke monotone and they drew out all their syllables. I think that's the creepiest thing I've ever seen.
Wow. I've never...
I can't believe you don't know about the Robert Burble.
It's been years since I've seen Thundercats.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, probably.
Sexy should not describe anything other than a person or something that person is wearing.
Yeah.
And if they're wearing only magic cards, that's not sexy.
It's just Purple Rain.
Is that Carl Sagan?
Yes.
Bigger than Nightcat or Insane Clown Posse?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
I like both, so I guess more pandas. Fuck it.
Wow, that's a lot of cereal.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, the cars don't exist.
I am with you.
So I'm sure you can imagine what I'm imagining that it would be.
That's a lot of imagining.
It is. Imagination is the future. Welcome. Gutter Trash, episode 10.
Episode 10. Wow, is it an anniversary?
I know, I think so. What is it, like silver, rust, paper?
I brought you...
Did you bring me paper at least?
I brought you this pad of sticky notes.
Oh, wow. I stole those legitimately from my office. Don't try to pawn that off on me.
Shit.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm alright.
Yeah. I just got back from Indianapolis.
Yeah. How was that?
It was alright. Yeah, it was a family Christmas get-together thing. But my parents went up yesterday, and they're staying till tomorrow, because they're out seeing a Celine Dion concert tonight.
Amazing.
So I just went up like at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and I came back. Because, we scheduled a show to do, and that's how dedicated I am to this.
You drove.
They're like, aren't you going to stick around and open presents and have dinner with us? I was like, fuck you, Mom and Dad. I got a podcast to do.
Man, we should make shirts that say that. Like, with our pictures and say, on the back it says, fuck you, Mom and Dad, I've got a podcast. Oh, man. Those should be available for $19.95 and medium to XXL.
Wow.
Anytime soon.
Get right on that.
Yeah. That's great. So were they like, you're an idiot here? Or did they give you, like, take-home, like, leftovers? Or?
No, we ate dinner. We had a pretty big spread. Some prime rib sandwiches.
Sweet.
Little tiny... like little miniature pizza things on like little chunks of wheat bread.
Well, that sounds amazing.
Carrots, cucumbers, some really good cheese and spinach dip.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like
chicken tenders.
Banquet.
Yeah, chips.
Mm-hmm.
So we ate like around 2 or so.
Was that your brother's house?
Yeah. It's probably the largest gathering of Seanborns in one area.
Really?
In quite a while, anyway. I even got to see my nephew, who I haven't seen in like 2 or 3 years.
Okay, not the Twilight one, but...
Yeah. Huh? No, yeah, the other one.
Okay.
The one who dresses kind of like a douchebag and...
How was it? Was like an ICP douchebag?
No, like He's got like he was wearing like really tight checker pants.
Oh wow.
He was wearing a scarf the entire time, like a tie.
Huh.
And he had like some sort of stupid looking beanie on his head, like some knit cap bullshit thing.
Like the one I'm wearing.
Kinda. Yeah. Didn't want to say anything. But yeah.
Mine just to keep my head warm. It's not some weird metrosexual ska band statement.
Yeah, apparently he wears his all the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
I found this in a parking lot. Or no, this isn't the one I found. My SpongeBob hat I found in a parking lot. This one somebody left at my store.
Yeah. It's both of them are creepy and disturbing.
Yeah. I washed them. I washed both of them.
Yeah, that's good. Still doesn't take away from the... I mean, it's like you... Like going to a thrift store is one thing, but
right.
just found stuff in your parking lot is...
But it's like a gift.
Pretty much below that.
It's like a mysterious gift.
You're a step away from hobo.
Oh, that could be the other shirt.
Yeah.
Gutter trash. A step away from hobo.
But yeah, we just did the gift exchange for the family, and then everyone started taking off because they all had Celine Dion concerts to go to.
Well, can you blame them?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be excited too.
She probably does like a Christmas medley, I'd imagine.
Maybe, yeah. So I just took off around 4:30 and got back home. Had to go take care of my parents' cats. And came back here for the show.
Nice.
Sacrificing. No, I'm not really sacrificing. I had to be back because I got to work tomorrow.
Yeah, you have to get up like the crack of dawn.
Yep. Before the crack of dawn. Even.
Wow.
Yeah.
The navel of dawn.
Exactly. So anyway, we're reviewing a book this time, and you picked it, and it's a graphic novel by Nate Powell.
Oh yeah.
It's called Swallow Me.
Whole.
What?
Swallow me whole.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Swallow me
Alright.
whole. Swallow me whole.
Swallow me whole. I'm going to go ahead and say the nicest thing about this book that I can say.
Uh-huh.
And it's the cover.
Yeah.
The cover has probably the most awesome texture of any cover I've ever seen, ever.
It's kind of, yeah.
I could just sit here and just rub it all day.
It's very nice.
I'm big on, tactile sensation.
Mm-hmm.
I like things with textures and,
especially if it's a comic with it.
Comics, yeah, paper, especially paper. But, even things like animals, they have, have different texture furs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my ex-girlfriend has 3 cats, and I can tell which one, in the dark, I could, tell which one I was petting, just based on, how their fur feels, yeah? I'm big on that, yeah? And, I would have to say this book, the texture of this cover, is probably, the second nicest thing I've ever touched.
Really?
Yeah.
In your entire life?
Yeah.
Wow.
The first would be the feel of a warm, naked female body.
Oh, okay. That's so creepy. Maybe there should be comic book. He's still rubbing. There should be variant covers with different animal
textures.
Fur. Yeah. Like an Aquaman with fish scales on the cover.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised they never did that in the 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, they did everything else
with the scratches of sniff, chromium, indestructible.
Yeah, indestructible. Yeah, that's the one. I was looking for that Mavericks the other day. The indestructible continuity comics. Yeah. Because I wanted to see. Well, obviously, I think if you're gonna put indestructible covers on your comics, every single person who buys it is gonna try to destroy it.
I'd feel kind of bad if I was the penciler or the inker or whatever. And you're like, man, every copy of this book I worked so hard on is just gonna be destroyed by, kids that just keep off the grass.
Right,
okay, I'm gonna play soccer then.
Right. Well, Neil Adams shouldn't be crazy. Is pretty much what it comes down to.
He seems a little crazy.
Yeah.
I think he may actually be the Weather Wizard from DC Comics.
Wow.
I think that's his alternate, persona.
That'd be amazing.
He hangs out by Niagara Falls and just juicing up his power energy level. And then at nighttime he flies across the city shooting, hurricanes out of his eyes towards John Burns' house or something.
Oh, poor John Byrne.
So I'm guessing by your complimentary words about the cover that you're not as into the interior stuff.
Well, Nate Powell sure is a good artist. I really dig his art.
Uh-huh.
It's probably one of the best drawn books I've seen that wasn't done by Raphael Grandpa.
Yeah.
Because I gotta say, I'm really big on him right now.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of him up until like just a couple months ago, but that guy is just astounding me every time I see his stuff. And Nate Powell's pretty much up there. Like I really dig his artwork, and I don't know. Going back to the cover, it's in color. The interiors are black and white. The color cover doesn't do the insides justice because Nate Powell can manipulate black and white like nobody's business.
I think he's up there with Ditko and Frank Miller as far as like wow when you see his black and white.
I would add another to that. Mike Mignola.
Who?
Mignola.
Never heard of him.
Okay. I'll show you some of his stuff later.
Oh, cool.
He's kind of obscure. So.
Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon, right.
Okay, I know that guy. Did he ever do anything after that?
Not really. That's why, I really revere him, because...
It's faded into obscurity.
Yeah.
He's like the Beatles.
Exactly.
Of comics.
Yeah. Just kind of a flash in the pan, but
one-hit wonder.
That one album that they put out, was just amazing.
Right. Meet the Beatles.
Yeah.
It's
I thought it was Meet the Ruddles.
Meet the Ruddles. Oh, that was really good. Okay.
As for the story itself, well, I guess it would have helped if there was one.
Ouch. See,
this book is about nothing.
But it's about finding order.
No, it's not.
Order and chaos.
No.
And family ties and.
No, it's not about any of that. Because none of that's presented in this book.
It makes you think about.
It makes me think about that I may possibly be schizophrenic
because of the hallucinations.
Yeah.
See, I thought that was a really because I love kind of surreal stuff like David Lynch and other things like that, and a lot of times it's so artsy fartsy that like there's nothing to it, and you're like, this is a turd. But I like books or movies or whatever stories that have like they're kind of set in our reality where everything's kind of believable, and they flesh out characters, and they're pretty normal people except for they have quirks,
right? And
then they introduce some sort of insane thing like the imagery towards the end with all the insects attacking her and like her being swallowed by the giant frog, and to me it really worked because for like the first half of the story, half of the book, you're like, okay, this is like a normal family. They're having their problems and bickering, and I thought it worked really well to show how she finally went off the deep end after after her grandma dies, basically.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to come right out and say that I didn't hate the book because obviously you're thinking that already. That I hated it. I'm
not thinking you hate it
because it took a while for me to get into it.
Uh-huh.
When you let me borrow the book, I started reading it and I thought it was just trudging through it. It was just difficult to get through it. But then once I finally sat down and made the effort, once I got past that sort of struggle point, I was able to just get through it really quickly, and I enjoyed it for the most part. But my biggest problems with it is that it seems like one of those books that you can tell that there's something that he is wanting to say with it, but he's not pulling it off.
I do agree with part of that. Like I think I've read just about everything he's ever done. I've kind of followed his stuff for a few years now, and a lot of his stuff, is just visually really, really strong. And then the stories are kind of they're like slice of life or just it's
Right.
nothing. I mean, it's nothing bad, but it's never been something that just hit me. And this one, to me, seems like the book right before he's going to put something fucking amazing out.
Yeah.
Like, I think this one he was trying to say something, because I know he works with a lot of, like, mentally just, like, challenged people and things.
I read that in the bio on the back of the book.
And I think that sort of informed his,
Right.
his need to do something about, just, like, the mind and the problems that you can have.
And, I mean, he comes at it from... he's not... exploiting it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I mean, he really does seem to be trying to tell, like, a human story, but there's no story.
Yeah, it is largely a slice of life thing, but it's almost like you're watching this girl descend into full-blown schizophrenia, right?
I think, because also in his bio, and I didn't know this until I read this book, and I've got one of his other books, I just haven't read it. But apparently, I guess he's done a lot of work in the Meat House anthologies.
Yeah.
And I love those. I've got every single one of them, and I highly anticipate every time one comes out, even though they get incredibly bigger and
more expensive
with each one. So I haven't been able to afford the newest one. But I guess, he's done a lot of Meat House stuff, and so obviously I've seen his work before.
Okay.
And, I love... I'd say almost all the artists that are, contributors to that.
Oh, yeah. What a swell group of guys.
Yeah, but this book really reads to me like... I think it would have been a lot better if... Because the book is sort of... It's like little vignettes of, like, this girl and her family.
Right.
And I think that if they were presented as just short stories... Like, it would have been a lot more impressive, but together in one big volume.
Okay.
It just sort of, it's like...
I see what you're saying.
It strings along, and it doesn't really go anywhere.
Like, this would have been like a 12-issue series where it sort of all adds up to be one coherent thing, but it's mostly about the chapters as separate parts.
Kinda. I mean, it's like if I would have read... Like, just like one of the snippets in like a Meat House, I'd have been like, alright, it's about this girl who's, kind of crazy.
She collects insects and puts them in jars.
I mean, I think presented it in shorter, multiple doses, it would have been a lot more compelling of a read.
See, I almost think I liked it better as a chunk. It's like I read it all in one setting. I just sat down and opened it and then read it and then closed it. And to me, it did a good job because it is kind of all over the place. And it starts out when she's a little younger, and then it continues on as she like
gets older.
Yeah,
right?
she goes to school, gets a job, loses friends, and
gains friends.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of liked it almost as just like here's her life, like starting as a kid until when she's like basically engulfed with this
right.
madness.
Yeah, right around the same time, I think. I mean, because she's, like, by the time the story ends, she's probably, I'd say, 17 years old, 18 maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
So right around the time where sort of she would start trying to be on her own is, like, when she just really does kind of just snap almost. Yeah,
yeah, she gets fired.
She has, like, a really bad day.
Yeah.
And, like she's schizophrenic, so...
Yeah.
That,
And her grandma has recently passed away, and
right.
the same day she loses her job and gets kicked out of school. And
I don't think that happens on the same day, does it?
I think the job in the school did, but not the grandma.
Well, the job in the school, but not, yeah. But, and then her grandma, because the book starts out with the main character and the rest of her family visiting the grandma in the hospital. Mm-hmm. And then, like, weeks later, months later... Like, she winds up moving into the house with them, and they, like, take care of her for years.
Right.
And
it's like 10 years or something.
Yeah. And the grandma's... I don't know if they ever say what her condition is.
Right.
Either Alzheimer's or just had a stroke or something, I don't know.
Well, yeah, because when she's in the hospital, she's sort of having hallucinations, talking about a train or a plane or something, and then it was in those first few pages that she tells Ruth, that's the main girl, that she's like, you have it too or something.
Right.
Basically, she can see that.
she's got a problem with her mind, and even the brother,
Percy,
Perry.
That's what it was,
he has a little wizard doll.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That talks to him and forces him to draw.
Makes him draw. I wonder if that's sort of if that's sort of autobiographical, like if he's Nate Powell trying to figure out why he. Because at the end too, there's spoiler. There's kind of like a scene at the very end where it's like the ghost of the grandma is talking to Perry as he's drawing the story, or as he's starting to draw the story, and he's like feeding the frog.
Oh yeah,
and the frog's actually his sister. I don't know. I was like,
yeah.
What does that represent? Is the because his sister disappears. I mean, she's just gone.
Right. Yeah, she after her bad day, like in the story, like what she jumps through her window.
Yeah.
But like it's closed, so like she just basically gets sucked into it.
Floats through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, is the last part of it just all her imagination? Like, is she really still there?
Yeah.
And this is her imagining.
Okay, yeah, she's surrounded by the bugs and like the giant frog, like opens its mouth and she just basically climbs in.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to like 3 pages. It's like 4 pages of just black.
I thought that was really neat too, because you're like, oh shit, the book's over.
Yeah.
And then like it's like whenever Sam Jackson came out at the end of the Hulk or whatever.
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Actually both. Yeah,
okay.
No, wait. Yeah, it was Sam Jackson at the end of
I think it was
Iron Man and Robert Downey Jr. at the end of Hulk.
That's right.
Yeah.
And neither one of them were at the end of this book.
No. But like, yeah, there's like 4 pages of just black, and then like there's like a half a page of black, like fading into Perry, like shoveling something.
He does an awesome job. There's a few times in the story where an image is going off the page, and his art is his design is so lively, and
he is a very good artist, and
it really moves.
Yeah, and like a great storyteller, and the design of it as well. Yeah, what the hell? Is he burying something, digging up something? I don't know.
I thought he was trying to find like her, and all the bugs or something.
He finds the frog, I guess. I didn't see that part earlier.
Which represents her.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Is the frog supposed to be her? Somebody read this and tell us. We're too dumb.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, he gets the frog, and he starts picking through the bugs and feeding the frog.
I know, and the frog is her head. The frog has become her.
Yeah, it starts turning into her. Yeah, he's not drawing anything.
Oh, wait, I thought he started to draw the story or something.
No. Yeah, he's just feeding the frog.
Oh, okay.
The wizard appears on his shoulder.
That's what I was thinking, I guess, because the wizard was there.
Yeah, and Grandma, the ghost of Grandma, appears behind him and tells him to watch out, it'll swallow you whole.
See, this is kind of fun. It's like watching Donnie Darko, because you're like, I get some of this, I get enough of this that I'm interested in trying to figure it all out,
right.
But I don't get it all, so I want to watch it again, and to me, it's in the same realm as that. I think it probably would befit both of us a second read through, which I guess we probably should have read through it a second time, so... I just got to go back to what I said. It's like there's a story in there somewhere. Mm-hmm.
He didn't do a great job of presenting it, it just seems like that occasionally he allows the imagery to overtake what could have been a story.
Oh, okay.
He just wants to get too deep into the symbolism, and or rather than And I mean, I'm not saying that I want it all spelled out for me. I want like the final 3 panels basically describing to me everything that happened and exactly what I need to know,
wrapped up in a nice package.
Right. But it's just it suffers from just not being clear enough in places where it really should have been.
Okay.
Like, like the fact that it's a family, and apparently Ruth and Perry are step-siblings. And I wouldn't have fucking known that, except that I read the back of the book, like the back cover.
Okay.
Is where that says it.
I didn't realize they were step-siblings.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I wonder if that's important, though, somehow.
Well, that's why she was always calling her father by his name. Because it's not her father.
Right. I thought it was like, in James Kachalka's diary strips, his son always calls him James. I thought it might be the same kind of... But I mean, that's weird, too, because they both sort of have this mental... they have this mental issue going on that I thought was maybe inherited.
Right.
But I guess...
And, we don't know where Grandma's from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which side of the family she's on.
I would imagine Ruth, because she seems connected to her.
Yeah, I guess there's that part where Grandma is actually sort of lucid. And she starts talking about, like, the old days and... Like, visually, she starts, like, transforming into her younger self.
Yeah, that was really
and she does look like Ruth.
That was a really neat scene.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that.
She's looking at the photo of her husband when she's on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
Okay, explain to me, what the hell is the little, like, spermy thing that keeps flying around everywhere?
So I thought that was, like, Grandma's, like, spirit animal or whatever. You know how Perry had the wizard, and
she has the frog.
Yeah.
Or just the bugs in general.
Because I think it first appeared when the grandma fell asleep, and I thought it like came out of her head or something.
Yeah, it came out of her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, she won't, during one of her periods, she's mumbling about, like, whether someone's been up in the attic drawing on her paintings.
That's right, I forgot about that. And there's a painting of that thing.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe that's like the grandma at the end. She's talking to Perry about how, it'll swallow him whole. I wonder if she's talking about his artwork and, in relation to her artwork, like painting that thing.
I think it's just the insanity in general.
Okay.
Like, I think we're, like, figuring this out as we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's like the end where he's feeding the frog. I think that is actually representative of his own schizophrenic leanings. Because he even goes to the doctor at one point, and the doctor just sort of... He doesn't brush him off, but like it just doesn't take it too seriously.
Right.
And I think that's like the main difference between him and Ruth. Because as soon as Ruth is diagnosed, she gets put on 6 different kinds of medicines, and but when it gets revealed that Perry is also hallucinating, his doctor basically
says, "Keep drawing, kid.
Yeah,
it's pretty good."
Yeah, even though he's being forced to draw by this
creepy
little wizard.
It is kind of creepy because it's so cute, but at the same time it's so demanding.
Yeah.
It's like if, Heathcliff the cat was somehow controlling your mind.
Right. We keep talking about, like, bugs and frogs and wizards. I guess we should probably explain where they're from or whatever. Like, because, Ruth, I guess in addition to being schizophrenic, she's got OCD.
Mm-hmm.
And she collects bugs and keeps them in jars, and they're all like, she's basically built like a shrine to bugs in her room.
And she's afraid to step on the grass because
of killing creatures. Yeah,
which I've thought about that too sometimes.
I don't.
And I walk around the block.
Well, maybe if I do, then I get like really gleeful and I just start stomping really hard.
Oh, because I'm like, I'll be walking around the block and I'll accidentally almost step on some sort of ant or something, a big ant carrying food or something. I'm like, whoa, and I avoid it, and I'm like, wow, I wonder how many times I just kill somebody's, some dad's bringing home the food to the family. I'm like, man, that's kind of depressing.
He probably deserved it.
He probably had a...
That seems to be a running theme in my ranting, is that people who die apparently deserve it.
That ant, he probably had a library of termite porn, and he was ruining the family.
Yeah.
He would spend all day, like, eating honey, spilled honey, and go home and on a sugar binge beat his wife. You never know.
Exactly.
But okay, I think so far this is my favorite thing Nate Powell's ever done.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I agree. I think the next thing he does is gonna
be the thing.
The thing, yeah. I really think like this is him almost.
This is his chunky rice, and
this is
the
his
next
chunky
thing
rice.
will be blankets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is his big baby, and next will be his black hole.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this so far, it's the only thing that I've knowingly read by him. Because I bought a book from him at Space last year. I've never gotten around to reading it, but it was one of the smaller ones.
Okay. The Sound of Your Name, or no, that's a bigger one.
Was it Please Release?
Please Release, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, Please Release. So,
oh yeah, we should mention that he's going to be at Space again this year.
Yeah.
So everyone that reads it should go get their copy autographed.
Yeah.
Shake his hand. He's a pretty swell fella.
If you're in the Columbus area.
Yeah.
He did draw my favorite of your Fantastic Four pages.
Oh yeah, that's
which I think we mentioned on the last episode, or a previous episode anyway. But yeah, he's an incredible artist, and yeah, I think he just needs to sort of work out his story angles, I guess. Because I mean, it like I said, it feels incomplete. And not just by the ending, just like from, like just chunks of it in the middle.
Just as it builds.
Right, yeah. Because, like, there's the whole part where Perry gets a girlfriend. It's like, I barely remember that happening.
Yeah. And then, it's like all of a sudden they're living together or something.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
I mean, I'm impressed with it, story-wise, but I think it is much stronger in the visual department.
Yeah.
And I think it's good, and I'll definitely read it again.
Right.
But I don't know. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's some parts of it that are a little hazy.
Yeah.
But maybe that's part of the atmosphere he was, trying to go for with all the mental, like, confusion and chaos. And
yeah, could be. Could be indeed.
I don't know.
Let's see where we are on the time. I hate to ruin my slideshow here. We're at 30 minutes.
But yeah, the cover is quite nice.
Yeah.
You can just touch it all day long.
I love the fact that, like, the lettering, too, for the logo, it's, like, depressed into... I guess embossed. Well, not even embossed, because it's not shiny or anything.
Right, but it, like, has a different...
like, stamped into it, yeah. So which, adds just to the overall texture of it.
Top-notch job.
Yeah.
Top Shelf
Well,
production.
Top Shelf does a great job with, like, all their books.
Oh, yeah. I think they live up to their name.
Oh, definitely. It was, I guess they always have, like, big sales once a year or something like that.
Uh-huh.
I always miss them.
Yeah.
Always. I'm thinking, man, I could buy, like something like this, which is, like, $20 for, like, $5, if I ever caught their sale in time,
Yeah, when did they have one? Was it a couple years ago at Space? Did they have something like that there?
Well, I don't know. I know that they do it every year. They have one year where they...
Just clean their warehouse, basically.
like, give you, like, 80% off of a book.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. But then there was also that one year where they almost went bankrupt. And they were, like, just pleading for people to, like, buy stuff. And they were giving really good discounts. And obviously they bought enough that they survived.
Yeah.
So... Which I think it would have been a shame if they had gone bankrupt. Because they're definitely one of the better publishers of indie books.
Small press stuff, yeah. I would agree.
Yeah. There was that one year at Space where we sat at our table was right next to their booth, and right next to Farrell Dalrymple's booth.
Yeah.
So basically everyone just sort of bypassed us.
Yeah. or like they stood there with their ass in our table.
Right.
Yeah.
And we had cookies.
We had cookies, yeah.
We also had a creepy guy with us, but he doesn't listen to this, does he?
I don't even know which one.
Okay. I'm sure you do.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all creepy.
Special comic nerds.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm stoked to go to Space. It's when is it? April It's like 13th, 11th.
I have no idea.
It's early April. The Small Press and Art. Small Press
and Comic Expo.
Alternative Comics Expo?
No, Small Press and Comics.
And Comics, okay. But it's based...
Yeah.
And it's in Columbus, Ohio at the Aladdin Shrine Complex.
It's the same place this year.
Yeah.
It was an alright place.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely bigger than the couple times I went, where it was like in a high school
gymnasium, yeah. Yeah. Although Dave Sim's not going to be there this year.
That's because he's going to be stuck in Canada with the crazy. He's just going to be beating off in a straitjacket.
I don't think he beats off anymore. I think he's
completely... Is that what celibacy means?
He's transcended...
You have to give up all of that?
No, I think he went celibate, and then I don't know, he found some sort of special version of religion that's like... It's like a Muslim mixed with Christianity, mixed with, some other... I don't know, some other invention of his own, and... Yeah, no, he doesn't. He said he doesn't whack it anymore.
Well, that's borderline starting a cult. Dave Sim is crazy.
I think he's. I hesitate to use the word crazy because I definitely respect the man quite a bit, but at the same time, he's fucking crazy. But I love him, and I read everything he does still, even though, some of it's kind of like, what is he doing?
Well, I think, what's his new book?
Glamour Puss.
Isn't that pretty much just it's him paying tribute to, like, photorealistic artists of the 40s?
Yeah, and the last issue, or 2 issues ago, I haven't read the newest one yet, but 2 issues ago was, like, this weird conspiracy, because he had this, photo of, it was, like, Milt Kenneth and, who else was it? It wasn't... It was some other...
Alex Raymond.
See, I don't think it was Raymond. It was somebody else, the photorealism.
Hal Foster?
It might have been Hal Foster. But it was like this photo of 3 people, and they were shaking hands in front of, a crowd, and he, like, read all this stuff into it, and it was almost like watching JFK, where he's like, and you see the way he's squeezing his hand here, he's really trying to intimidate him, and the way that Milt Kenneth was leaning back, it means, he was trying to somehow escape, even though he's got that forced smile, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? If he can read that much into a photo, I'm gonna have him look at my photo and be like, what was my grandma thinking right there?
Right.
Yeah. I want to know.
I think he's maybe actually just getting too close to it, and someday he's going to learn that Will Eisner was actually America's top spy.
Yeah. He was a Nazi, Nazi sympathizer spy.
And that when he went to the war, and like Wally Wood was drawing the spirit or whatever,
right.
That was one of his deepest undercover operations, and
he was serving Hitler herbal tea.
Yeah. And this is why Frank Miller's The Spirit is going to look like a piece of crap, because Frank Miller has been given the crazy juice by Will Eisner.
The Nazi serum.
Yeah.
It was an experiment. Will Eisner brought that back to inject it into Frank Miller's neck.
Exactly.
And then Frank Miller went crazy.
But it was slow acting, because this only started happening like sort of around the late 90s.
Yeah.
Up until now, where it's really just sort of exploded.
Wow. I think we blew the lid off of it. Dave Sim, watch out! You're in trouble. Wait a minute, how does this connect to Dave Sim? I forget.
Dave Sim is crazy.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is. Yeah, did I ever tell? I told you. I don't know if I ever mentioned on here the story about. I tried to get him to do a Fantastic Four page for the Fantastic Four project you mentioned earlier, and I wrote him a letter, and I sent him, like a complimentary letter, and I asked, I said, hey, I talked to you at Space last year about, maybe doing a Fantastic Four recreation, and you seemed, possibly interested, and you said to write you, and I wrote him this letter, and I get a letter back saying, it's a form letter, and it says, Dave Sim no longer will correspond with anyone unless they sign this written statement saying they do not believe him to be a misogynist. Okay, and this is right after right after he released Judenhaus, which was,
Oh, yeah, I want to get on this conversation.
Yeah, it's an amazing book.
It's a great book, and it's probably, if it weren't for Dave Sim, it probably would be considered one of the most important comics to come out in the past decade.
Yeah, but he basically...
He fucked himself.
He prevented that from ever happening. Because, he puts out this book and he's like, hey, I'd love to see this in every classroom across the
libraries,
North America.
classrooms, right.
But then everybody that writes to him about it is going to receive this form letter saying, do you believe this man is a misogynist?
Right.
And they're like, I guess he's just crazy. I'm going to ball this piece of paper up.
Right.
And we're going to order...
0 copies of this we're gonna potentially important comic.
We'll just stock Marvel... Marvel Classics,
we
the
need
Odyssey.
more Hulk Essentials.
Yeah, we'll put those in the library instead. Oh my gosh, what is this? What is he thinking?
I don't know. For anyone who's listening that doesn't know, which I think only like 3 people we know listen to it, so they probably do know. But on the off chance, Judenhaus is Dave Sim's sort of essay on the Holocaust and basically anti-Semitism throughout history.
Yeah, I mean, it tells tons of information about things I never knew leading up to the Holocaust.
Right.
Like what informed that mindset that actually allowed that to happen.
Right.
And
it's not even just from 1930 on. It's from the 17th century.
Yeah.
I mean, just the amazing amount of people who hate the Jewish ethnicity, religion, whatever.
Right.
Throughout history and for seemingly no reason whatsoever.
Right. Yeah. And even how it echoes today, even you mentioned some things that are still going on. And it's full of awesome information and some of the most amazing comic art I have ever seen.
Indeed. He had original pages, or they weren't even pages because he just sort of drew them in chunks,
still images.
Yeah, and then he would just sort of, rearrange them as needed
in Photoshop or something.
For the book.
I think it took him
years, 4 years or something like that.
I was thinking 4 or 8. I can't
he originally wanted to do it for, I think it was the anniversary of the Holocaust or something like the end of the war. I don't know. And then by the time he actually finished it, it actually coincided with the anniversary of the independence of Jerusalem or something like that.
Okay.
Not entirely sure. I don't have it with me here, but it's a great book, and I mean it's certainly not light reading at all.
Right. Yeah.
But because Dave Sim, is Dave Sim,
he shot himself in the foot on that one.
He really did.
Because I think that is something that if even high schools, I mean, I'd definitely say colleges, but even high schools saw that, they're like, wow, this really, is heavy, but it's historical, it's informational, and kids will probably relate more to this than they would their textbook because all the awesome artwork.
Right.
And then he just said,
and it's only 40 pages long or something like that.
It's 40 or 50 pages.
But it's really dense too, so I mean it's not like you're reading it's not like you're reading a textbook. It's
basically perfect.
Yeah.
And it's $4 cover price.
Right.
It's incredibly cheap. And then he had to go all you can go online and see his petition of people that have signed his
anti-misogyny.
Yeah, I'm not a misogynist. I'm actually on there. I signed it.
Yeah,
but not to get a page. I mean, I signed it after I knew that he wasn't going to do the page.
Right.
I went ahead and signed it.
But you also wrote a letter back to him. Responding to his form letter.
Yeah,
and I really did think it was one of the most well-written letters I've ever read.
Well, thank you.
And didn't he respond to that actually though?
Yeah, he actually. Oh, let's see. He wrote a letter after I... Yeah, okay, I wrote him once, and he wrote me back, and I wrote him one more time saying, okay, basically.
Right.
I see what you're saying, but, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, the short story is he's gone off the deep end.
Yeah, he's kind of shooting himself in the foot in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I mean...
Because even... because like I said, that letter you wrote to him was really well thought out, and I mean, you really brought up a lot of points. That I mean, it comes down to there are people out there who are accusing him of being a misogynist, whether he is or not. I don't give a shit.
Right.
Fuck.
but we don't know him. We
don't know him.
Yeah.
And you're just a fan.
Yeah.
You've been a fan for probably as long as you've been reading comics.
Since I was like 13.
Right. Yeah. And all you care about is the work that he produces.
Yeah.
But he puts he's like super crazy John Byrne.
Yeah.
And that just his personality overrides his work. And his work may be good, and he's certainly a talented fucking artist.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I think he's the best letterer that's ever worked in comics. I will say that. I will defend that too.
I think Tom Orzechowski would disagree.
But yeah, it's like I've met him maybe like 5 times over the years, and had small conversations with him. Like, I mean, the kind of conversations that you have with just anybody you meet.
Right.
And I don't know him. I mean, I've read like over 6,000 pages of artwork and stories that he's produced.
Right.
But I don't know the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he may be a misogynist. I don't know.
Right.
And like to ask people to put in writing or whatever that they don't believe him to be a misogynist in order to communicate with him, and in order for him to actually write you a letter or talk to you at a convention. I mean, that's just crazy.
Well, there's also the whole thing where, I mean, like I've read like snippets of his essays, and that's the thing is that like I don't know, I've never read Cerebus all that much, but I do know that he wrote a lot of essays.
Oh yeah,
in those books. Like I don't know at what point he started, but I'm guessing he like kept through it to the end.
Yeah,
and like even has
even
like a
past
separate
the end. Yeah,
right. So if you're going to put that much of yourself into your work of fiction,
mm-hmm.
And not just sort of like I'm writing a character and this character reflects my views on the world, but actually separating the fiction that you're writing and like I'm Dave Sim and here's the cold hard fact that I believe in.
Right.
In like every issue for like pages at a time.
Oh yeah, sometimes 10 pages.
Right.
Typed out.
And that kind of thing is going to override it. And then I've read a few things, like he's got these ridiculous rules for like meeting him at a convention, like what you can and can't do. And it's like, lighten the fuck up, it's comics.
But see, what's crazy is that, like, even a year ago when I saw him at Space, I mean, I just walked up to his table and I said, hey, I really dig this Judenhaus art. I can't wait till it comes out. And he like walked over to the panels with me and showed me, and like I pointed out like details I thought was awesome and how it worked, and and he was like the most approachable and friendly and like humble comics or even just person,
Yeah. And I mean, like there were tons of people walking up to him and talking to him, and he was always busy like the entire time there.
Yeah. It's like, what happened?
Right. Yeah. Like, yeah. What happens where he's home by himself, getting these letters, and when he's in person, he is cordial.
Yeah.
And because there was a woman I met up there at Space who she's an interviewer for Newsarama, a columnist, and like she was talking about, I should go up and talk to him, but she didn't have time to because he was so busy because he was talking to like 10 other people.
Oh yeah, he'll talk to you forever.
Yeah, and I mean that's awesome, but it's like he won't do a sketch for people anymore. Or like I guess there's like maybe even certain things he won't sign, and who knows? Maybe now he has like the form letter for his misogynist thing at his table when he does conventions.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't
maybe
think
that's why he's not doing it.
He doesn't say. I don't think he even does show. I think he said he's done doing shows.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, and like you brought up a point, he's had all those essays in the back of his book, and even reading those, I mean, you get the idea that, his opinions.
Right.
But to me, I would say you still don't know the person.
Right.
You could read what he's trying to get across and formulate your opinion, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Just thinking that reading something like that would make you feel like you know somebody well enough to sign some statement about them.
Right.
And plus, like you said too, if he's going to put that much part of his self out there and his opinions, he should not be surprised that half the people that write him don't agree with him. I mean,
right.
I mean, usually, half the comic artists that I love, I've never even thought about writing them to say how much I love them. Usually, what stirs stirs you into communication
is something negative.
Yeah, you're like, or like you want to call them out on something. You're like, I don't know what you mean. I want to have not a debate, but like a dialogue about this.
It's easier and quicker for me to say that I really dislike John Byrne's artwork than it is to say that, well, I really loved his stuff back in 1983 when he was doing X-Men.
Right.
It's easier to just say John Byrne sucks than John Byrne used to be good, a while back.
Yeah.
And if he just tried a little harder, maybe he would be good again.
And if he wasn't such an asshole to his fans.
Exactly. Right. It's just... well, hell, like some of the nicest creators that you and I have ever met. And we haven't met a ton, but, we don't talk about them, but we'll always talk about the negative experiences.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah, like Jay Lee, one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Yeah.
But how often have I brought that up where...
I didn't even know you've ever met Jay Lee.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But, when Eric Powell punched me in the gut...
Oh, right, yeah.
I talk about that all the time.
Yeah. Was that... Yeah.
That never happened.
You're trying to get your copy of Razor signed?
Yeah, which we just learned about last night. Alright, let's... for some reason, we ranted about Dave Sim for a long time. Oops. Yeah, it's alright. Let's take a short break and we'll be back.
And we're back.
You can't hear that, but yeah, it's weird. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
Were you rested after that rambunctious Dave Sim slashing?
I did get kind of worked up about Dave Sim. I love Dave Sim, and I'll probably read everything he does until one of us is dead.
Right.
He's
no offense to Dave Sim, but hopefully it's him.
Well, he's an older man than I, so
yeah. Well, he's not my friend, and you are, so I prefer my friend not to die.
Well,
today anyway. Tomorrow may be a different story.
Does that feel awkward?
It is the season.
Thank you, I guess. Yeah. Well, hopefully we both live to be 1,000.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. No, maybe it wouldn't. If I could stay at the health level I am right now, which is poor, but
manageable.
Poor but manageable. Yeah. Then I'm fine with living to 1,000. But if I decline any further than this, then it's going to be hell.
I'll make sure you don't.
You'll take care of me.
Yeah.
Right. That mean you're gonna take care of me.
Right. Yeah, I'll take care of you.
Well, it's your turn to take care of a movie pick, though.
I've been excited about this one. I've been wanting to see this movie for a year. It's comes up. I think you know what it is.
I'm curious.
Oh, I get it.
Just in case you wonder.
I get it. Well, it comes on Christmas, so we can have a field trip.
The Spirit.
The fucking Spirit. No.
Yes.
No. Well, here.
Sam Jackson. Fuck yeah. I just watched Black Snake Moan.
No. It's not The Spirit.
Damn it.
If that movie costs $1 and it's playing, and there's free cookies, and it's playing like right across the street from my house, I wouldn't go see it. Fuck that movie. I'll rent it from the library, and I'll find out how poor it is then. But no, it's The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. I'm so stoked to see that movie.
Nice.
It's Brad Pitt and a movie by David Fincher.
Who's pretty good.
He's pretty darn good.
He's wow, that's 3 Fincher Pitt team-ups.
Yeah. Fight Club and
7.
12 Monkeys and the Mexican. Yeah, 7's one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time.
I wouldn't put it that far up there, but it's a good movie. I would definitely put Fight Club probably in my top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I like 7 better than Fight Club, but
I don't. But
it's a good movie.
It's still a good movie.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, they're both awesome.
Yeah.
But this one is I don't know if it's going to be more awesome, but
Right.
I think it looks really, really good.
Yeah. I kind of like that David Fincher has chosen some just drastically different subject matters for his movies.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's only directed just sort of a handful. 7, Alien 3, which I'm probably the only person in the world who actually likes Alien 3.
I liked Alien 3.
Really?
Yeah.
It's very rare to find anyone who
I like
enjoyed it.
Even David Fincher doesn't enjoy it.
Yeah, I know, exactly. That's why it's very rare to find someone who does.
What's he do? Panic Room.
Zodiac, which I still haven't seen.
Oh yeah, it was him. I forgot about that.
I would love to see that.
That was pretty good.
Haven't had the opportunity yet.
I think it's my least favorite David Fincher movie, but it was. I mean, that's like saying, man, that was the worst blowjob I've ever had.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that was such a good analogy.
Yeah.
Man, why didn't I think of that when we did the All-Star Superman episode? Fuck. Because I was, in that episode I was saying that it was like the worst Frank Riley art I've seen.
Right.
But, it's
still amazing.
God damn it. Why couldn't you think of that 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, whenever that was that we were
I've been writing my dialogue for this episode for weeks.
Oh, fuck. Maybe I should do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else has he done? Is that it?
And he did some music videos, but I think that was it.
Fuck the music videos.
I think that was all the movies, though.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing between Fight Club and...
Oh, he did Friday After Next with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker.
Stop that. But nothing between Fight Club and... I guess Panic Room was after Fight Club, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So nothing between... Oh, The Game.
Oh, I forgot that for a reason. I don't like that movie.
Oh, well, you suck.
I like the first,
You suck.
I like the first, everything but the last 5 minutes of that movie. I think
it's like a 2-hour movie.
I think that's the...
So you like the majority of the movie?
I think it was an amazing... Or it was almost an amazing movie, and then the last 5 minutes happened, and I was like, that was fucking stupid. Because this guy, he's to the point where he's like, I'm going insane. I'm gonna kill myself, and he jumps off a roof, and they're like, we're just kidding, buddy. And he's like, oh, you guys, and he has drinks with him, and the credits roll. And I was like, that's so unbelievable. I mean, I know it's it's a movie, so it's not supposed to be completely believable, like not as if Fight Club is believable, but that movie had me believe in it for 2 hours. I was like, wow, this could really happen. This is amazing. And then it ended, and I was like, that ending just kicked me in the nuts. That's how I feel about that movie.
All right.
So I kind of just forgot about that movie.
All right. Is there anything else, though? Man, I wish I had the internet to look up his IMDb page.
Ooh. See, this is what it was like before the internet. We all had to
Yeah, when people were doing podcasts before the internet.
Yeah, back then. All those sweet old podcasts.
Yeah, no, you'd have to press it to vinyl and.
No, I'm just saying, when people had to come up with information, they had to actually rub brain matter together and
Right,
come up with the answer instead of just like, I'll just...
Wikipedia!
We're all just getting stupider.
Huh?
Oh. I don't want to start talking about the internet.
That's fine.
But yeah, when you want to go Christmas Day, obviously.
Yeah, I got nothing to do.
Because I might not be able to go Christmas Day because I got a family thing, and then one of my friends might be having me over at night for a second dinner, which could put me right out. Two big dinners.
I'm sure I have a family thing, but whatever.
Maybe like Friday.
Friday?
Yeah,
I think I'm off Friday.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm down.
Sweet.
Kate Blanchett's in that movie.
Oh,
She's not hard to look at.
easy on the eyes.
Yeah,
as I like to say.
and see, she's a real person, so it's not super creepy when I say that she's attractive.
It's not like, man, Power Girls, knockers, make my mouth water.
That's creepy.
Yeah. I've heard people say very similar things at my work.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know you have all those sexually suggestive anime statues.
They're everywhere. They're basically rubbing their vulvas on the packaging, like on the clear window of the toilet.
You look at it, it's just like it's ass.
Yeah.
It's ass, and then
and they're
camel toe.
they're well sculpted toys.
Oh yeah,
but I'm like,
if you're into that,
yeah. I'm just, I don't know.
And it's not a statue that you can not have it in that position.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's sculpted
unless you
to be in that position.
Unless you put a towel over it. That's the only way it won't. I'm not really into toys, like even setting them up. Like you've got Omac, is that Omac or Zodiac? Who's that?
That's Orion.
Orion. I was thinking of He-Man. Zodiac or
that
was
his name.
But I am the only toys I might actually end up buying are those Incredible Change Bot toys that Devil's Due's putting out.
The $50.
They're expensive.
Yeah.
But they actually incredible change.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, I think we're done with this.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because the slideshow just started again.
Oh, yeah. Pretty slideshow.
Yes, it is.
Who's that, Pike?
Yeah, J. Scott Pike.
I don't know who that is.
Pinup girl artist. Like,
Right.
old school. Like 50s.
It looked very old school.
Yes, it was. All right, so take it easy. And we'll talk to you...
Mañana.
Not mañana. Next week. Bye.
Gutter Trash can be downloaded at www.guttertrash.net, iTunes, Podcast Alley, and Feedburner. You can also find us at myspace.com/guttertrash_net, seanborn.net, blog.seanborn.net, and buyerbewarecomics.blogspot.com. Contact us at show@guttertrash.net, eric@guttertrash.net, or jason@guttertrash.net. Thank you for listening to Gutter Trash. We'll see you next time.